Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video on Superman Lois Season 4. Today we're going to be talking about the series finale that is airing later tonight. We are making this Q&A video to answer your burning theories and your burning questions before the series finale tonight. So if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos later this year. So this is my final video before the series finale comes out. That's going to be the end of Superman Lois and the end of the Arrowverse as a whole. We got a big cameo supposedly coming tonight. We've got a big episode rounding out Superman Lois and concluding all the storylines. So it is truly the end of an era. And obviously I'm looking forward to making content to do with other DC shows and other things that come to light, whether it's Smallville and their new animated show, or if it's DCU related, so maybe Green Lantern, or definitely covering the Supergirl movie when that comes out in the Superman film. So don't go anywhere guys if you are a fan of DC Comics. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into today's Q&A questions that you guys have sent in on my community tab. So I've picked a wide range of questions that you guys have sent in, but some of them do cross over a little bit because obviously a lot of us have the same ideas about what could potentially be happening in tonight's episode. So let's answer the first question. This comes from User Hero of You on YouTube, who asks, do you think Sam's heart can become Kryptonian when Superman goes near the sun? So this is obviously a big question that we've all got. Is Superman going to get back to his normal power levels? Well, we saw in the trailer that he will be going up to the sun in this episode, in the series finale. Now, does that make him boosted just for a short period of time? Or is it going to permanently change, I guess, the biology of his body? Because right now he is set to age and eventually lose all of his powers. So the question is very valid. Can Sam's heart be changed? Is it actually going to stop him forever from progressing or becoming stronger or even being as strong as he is right now? So naturally, a lot of us have a lot of theories like this. Could Sam's heart be changed and become more Kryptonian when he goes near the sun? I'm gonna have to say probably not. I think that's a little bit too far-fetched. I don't think his heart is going to necessarily change. He might need a replacement of a heart, and that comes into some of your other Q&A questions that we'll get to just later in this video. But for now, let's go ahead. So User Hero of You has a couple more questions as well, and they say, do you think Superman could maybe know about Doomsday and take him close or into the sun? Because remember, Yellow Sun is Bizarro's weakness and Doomsday is still Bizarro but transformed. So I think that if Superman takes Doomsday / Bizarro into the sun, it could reverse the mutation, turning Bizarro back to his form. So that is an interesting question that you pose, because I think that actually could be the answer. I think that's how he defeats Doomsday, because I think physically they don't have anything on Doomsday right now. But if they're able to muster up the strength, that being Superman, Superboy, the other Superboy, and anyone else that is helping in this fight against Doomsday at the start of the episode, if they can muster that power up to drag him up, fly him to the sun, you could potentially defeat Doomsday, because that is essentially his kryptonite. Obviously, we know that he doesn't react to kryptonite in the same way, so that's not really an answer. We have XK, which he did react to, but I think with Doomsday's mutations, he's become stronger and different, so I guess something as powerful as the sun could potentially change or kill Doomsday. So I don't know, it would be nice to see Bizarro come out alive and be sent back to his Earth through the mines, because he's definitely become more humane and he's less so of a villain now because he's been used by Lex Luthor. And I would like to see him carry on. That would be a nice ending to that story arc, because it's been going on for a couple of seasons now since we had Bizarro, and then obviously we had Doomsday this season and last season. But it's very likely as well that he could potentially die if they do take him up to the sun. Now the next question comes from OG Seahorse on YouTube, who asks, do you think Superman will get Doomsday's heart? He's doing a lot better against Lex's suit, considering it's lined with kryptonite in the trailer. And it makes sense that Superman has Doomsday's heart because his weakness is XK, not kryptonite. So this is what I was mentioning earlier. That is the other theory, that Superman could potentially get Doomsday's heart if he does potentially cross the line and kill Doomsday. It would kill Doomsday, and it would kill Bizarro if Superman was to get his heart. So that's obviously a big question. Do you think Doomsday is going to turn back to Bizarro, or do you think he's going to die? If he's going to die, then sure, we can take his heart, and potentially that could, transform Clark into a more powerful version of himself, because I don't think Lex Luthor knows about Bizarro's weakness. So potentially, with Lex's suit being in line with kryptonite, it could be actually ineffective if his biology was completely changed and he had to change his heart in order to become more powerful once again. And I don't think Lex knows anything about XK and that being Bizarro's weakness, so I think that could definitely help Superman if that was the case. But I would say maybe it's a little bit too much of a far stretch, because I don't know how they're going to take Doomsday's heart out whilst he's still alive, because you have to realize that you can't kill Doomsday and then take his heart, because his heart wouldn't beat again. It has to be still beating, and they have to be able to actually put it into Clark's body if that is what they're going to do. Now, the next question comes from Shadow Phantom on YouTube with quite a long question, and they say Superman's fight with Luthor in the suit is after his fight with Doomsday, because in the trailer, Superman no longer had the damage to his face that he received from fighting Doomsday that we saw last episode, so something happened to restore his healing, which is what I think happens when he goes up to the sun and he somehow boosts his powers and his healing factor goes up higher, and I think temporarily he will be supercharged, and that could be what they're doing. So I think that's the reason he no longer has the cuts and everything on his face that we've seen from that fight with Doomsday. And we know that when he fights Lex, he's going to be back to normal, so he will have regenerated a little bit by that point. Now, also, the Lois Lane actress Bitsy Tulloch made a public statement over the summer that the last episode will have a cameo in it of someone that everybody will be familiar with and like. It would be great to see Tom Welling's Superman appear and stop Doomsday from delivering the fatal blow to Superman. Then in a huge battle, it takes both of them to stop Doomsday, so you would have Superman and Superman fighting side by side, seeing Tom Welling's Superman in the suit for the first time properly since Smallville. While the three are fighting, the two sons would be on the ground continuously rescuing people from the chaos and destruction being caused from the battle. And so that is his theory. I think that's an interesting theory, because I do feel like Tom Welling is one of the most likely candidates to actually be that cameo, just because he's still so involved in this world. And if you want to have Superman fighting alongside Superman to get that extra leg up on Doomsday or that leg up on Lex Luthor, that could be the way to go. That would totally have fans super engaged, because I feel like there's a lot of crossover between Smallville fans and Superman Lois fans, so that's something that I would love to see. And I like your theorizing, because you went in depth and you told us exactly how you think it could go down if Tom Welling or someone else did show up to help. And also, I guess off the top of my head, I would think maybe Brandon Routh Superman could be an option, but we'll have to wait and see. Okay, so let's move on to the next question, and this comes from Carol on YouTube, who says Tao shows up and takes Doomsday back to the inverse world, leaving Clark to deal with Lex. So I just want to quickly debunk this. It could be, and they could have lied this whole time, but as far as we know, Tao is not going to be in this episode. The showrunner said they couldn't make it happen, even though they wanted him to be back for the final season. So it seems like the actor wasn't available, or they just didn't have the room for him. But I do like the idea of taking Doomsday or taking Bizarro back to the inverse world, setting him free and leaving Clark to deal with Lex Luthor on his Earth. And the final question is to do with the cameo once again. This comes from Yvonne on YouTube, who asks, who will make the cameo? Will it be Tom Welling appearing, or will it be Melissa Benoist? Who knows? And she says, thank you. We will have to wait and see. Yeah, we will have to wait and see, but Melissa Benoist is another option. I would definitely be over the moon if that happened. Her, Tom Welling, whether it be anyone else from the Arrowverse, I would be super excited. I will say I will be a little bit disappointed if it's someone who cameos who wasn't in a DC show, because I feel like it should be at least fitting to the Arrowverse or fitting to DC to have someone who's played an iconic character before. I feel like that should be the surprise cameo rather than, say, an actor who previously worked with Bitsy or Tyler or maybe one of the showrunners before. But obviously that's just my own opinion on that. So that pretty much does it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you're excited for Superman Lois's series finale later tonight. Of course, I'm going to have my review and breakdown out of that final episode right after it ends. It's going to be about an hour after it ends, as I will be watching it live. Plus also we're doing a live stream before at 11 PM UK time tonight, which is 6 PM on the East Coast in America. So come tune in, we're going to have some special guests. So lots of content coming today, guys, because this is the series finale of Superman Lois. So for now, please be sure to leave a like and a comment on this video if you enjoyed it. Also subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. But for now, you can click on the top right corner of the screen to watch my latest video, and I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.